Hi guys, I'm Marcia Prince, co-founder of Plant Chics.
And I am Jacque Tarlton, co-founder of Plant Chics. And we are going to be talking about the 3 pillars that every woman who is 40 years old and older needs to master in order to find that like amazing health and gain more energy and feel great. You guys, it's not that hard. You just have to really learn to make yourself a priority. We're going to talk about 3 things. We're going to talk about food, we're going to talk about fitness, and we're going to be talking about friends, how that community can really, it's kind of like the glue that holds everything together. So let's get started. And hey, if you guys have any questions, we want you to type them in the comments and let us know, like say hello, say where you're watching from. We want this to be like super, super interactive. And shout out the comments or questions, whatever you have, just type them in the comments because we are here for you. This is for you. And if you have some girlfriends who are 40 and older, who are interested in getting healthy, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, tag them, get them here, bring them on this live because this is for you. This is for that girl. This is for me. Like when I was in my early 40s and I was literally sick and tired of being sick and tired. So what do? One thing, like the food, you guys, this is something that literally every single dietary preference, if you look at all the diets out there, one of the things that they have in common is they talk about unprocessing your food, cutting the crap, cut out the calorie rich and processed foods, the crap. We really, I mean, you can have some of it, but you don't want to be eating it on the regular basis. Like you don't want to have like a little taste at every meal, or you don't want to have even eating the crap even once a day, or, you want to really make sure that you're focusing. I'm literally just eating lunch, but I've got my salad here, and it doesn't mean you have to eat salads. Like this is a big hearty salad. I've got a field roast sausage in here. I've got beans, I've got onions, I have peppers, I've got lettuce and cabbage and bok choy. Holy moly, I'm so into bok choy right now. Literally, like, find the foods that you like, and you have to learn to cut the crap, start eating foods in their closest to natural state. Again, you don't have to be plant-based to do this. You can do this with any and every dietary preference. So we want to cut the crap. One of the biggest things that's contributing to weight gain right now are the drinks that we're drinking, alcoholic beverages, sugary beverages, like sodas, juices. These are very, very caloric. There's a lot of calories in them. And literally, like if this was a Coke, this would be a couple hundred calories, and it would be enough sugar for the week that you would have in like that 1 can of Coke. So literally just switching out your beverages and trying water, like try some fruit infused waters, do something. There is ways to make water freaking delicious, and be patient with yourself because it can take like up to 7 times for you to like start liking some of the foods, because when you're eating like super processed, like French fries, if you eat out a lot, you have a lot of fat and a lot of sodium in those foods. And when you are eating those foods that are like high in fat, high in sugar, high in salt, it's called hyperpalatable. Like your tolerance for fat, sugar, and salt, it is amplified, and you have to retrain those taste buds. So be patient with yourself. Keep trying to introduce some new foods. And again, cutting out the fried foods, processed foods that come in a package. Like if you have something like crackers, or if you have a snack cake, and you read the ingredients. If you don't know what monosodium glutamate is, or if you don't know what some big, long scientific word is, you don't want that crap in your body. Cut the crap, eat foods in the closest to natural state. And again, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be plant-based to do this. Whatever your dietary preferences are, or even if you can't eat gluten or whatever, there's foods that are super, super healthy for you, foods in the closest to natural state.
Well, I also want you're saying cut out the crap, but beware of some of the crap that disguises itself as healthy, like plant-based ice cream. People are like, well, it's plant-based, it's not dairy, but it literally is like, coconut milk with sugar. Like the sugar's been added to it. It still is like equivalent to a Coke. Now it's completely different, but at the end of the day, it processes just the same. And it's sugar is sugar, guys. I mean, I know some of it's probably like more non-GMO. But again, you want to put less of these crappy foods in your body. Like a lot of people get fooled by the vegan and plant-based, the new stuff, or gluten-free, and people think, oh, this says more fiber, and it's actually processed. You want to be fiber in the form of fruits and vegetables where it's attached to like it was living at one time. And then maybe you're cooking it, steaming it, but not frying it, but cooking it, steaming it, or you're just eating it raw, eating a cookie with extra fiber, that's not going to do it. Or maybe a Fiber One bar with extra protein, that's not going to cut it either. That's like a Snickers bar with a candy, like a candy bar, basically. You want to make sure that you really stick to the produce section. When we say like unprocess your food, the produce section is the best way to do it. And it's produce, it's nuts, beans, seeds, grains, but you just have to watch out for the added sugars. If it comes in the box, and I'm saying like rice or something or quinoa can come in the box, it's completely different, right? Like organic quinoa in a box. But we're talking about a lot of people want to justify their cookies, their candies, their sugars, I don't know, chips, anything. Like, is this healthy? I literally had a client keep asking me and taking pictures of the grocery store. She was going down like maybe the plant-based aisle and was asking if every product was healthy. And I'm like, no, that could sit on the shelf for 20 years. Like, you need to be shopping the produce section. So give yourself some grace when you go to the grocery store and find out things that you can like incorporate in your diet that taste good. So for instance, maybe you're addicted to Snickers bars. Maybe you can find a healthier version of that, like eating dates and peanut butter and some little chocolate chips, like vegan chocolate chips on top.
And let me tell you, that is so good. Like it literally is, I think, more satisfying than a Snickers now. It is so good. You have to try it. Do not poo-poo it until you try it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I had to throw it.
No, Jackie's really excited about that. She will like go down on that. But no, just, you have to be careful on those things. I mean, we're not saying you can never have a Snickers if you really like Snickers. You can indulge them every once in a while, but people get crazy and they literally have them at their house and they're eating them all the time, right? And, I'll go to some like family members' house and they literally have candy jars everywhere. And, what's in your house, it's in your mouth. So you got to be careful what's in your fridge, in your pantry, anywhere in your house. I mean, I know myself, like if there's any cookies, candies, anything, even that's like junk food stuff, like healthier junk food than other, more conventional stuff, it's gone. I'll eat it. So I really have to be careful of what I put in my house or it's gone. Same as my husband, right? So we only know like those type of foods, like he likes Haagen-Dazs ice cream and he can't have it every day, but he'll splurge and have it. But he literally has to stop himself from eating an entire pint. I'm like, can you just eat half? Like, just practice. Like, you can practice eating half a pint. And then, and then save it for another time. And he's like, okay. So you just get into the habit of that stuff. I'm not saying my husband can never have Haagen-Dazs ice cream. What I'm saying is watch the amount of that type of food at one time. Because remember, your body's only going to process it. And the rest of it, is going to use what it needs for fuel, I guess. And then it's not really good fuel, like ice cream. And then it's just going to sit as fat, right? It's going to cause inflammation. It's dairy. It's going to wreak havoc on his gut microbiome. So there's nothing like beautiful that comes from maybe a little bit emotionally like, it's soul food. It feels good to eat. And you get these endorphins, but you have to be careful, one, on the amount. So, and number two, like it's all about cutting out the crap, right? We're never going to be crap free or calorie free or, sugar free for the rest of our lives. And I don't think it's realistic in today's day and age, but you can cut down on the amount of crap calories. You can cut down on the amount of, I would say just the junk food in general, and just put it for like special times and you will really enjoy it versus having it all the time at your convenience and then you don't feel well and you don't know why you don't feel well. So that's my 2 cents.
I love it. Anything else? Any other tips around food? We're good?
No, I think that's it. I think cutting the crap is the biggest one. Adding more whole foods.
Good. And I cannot
Especially
read.
over 40, ladies. You got to be on it.
All right. Like I'm listening. I'm reading a message. I love this message. I actually gained 50 pounds at one point when I was eating vegan as I got too caught up in eating way too much vegan processed foods without reading the labels. It's so true. And like you guys have heard the acronym KISS, keep it simple, sweetheart, because we like to try and like overcomplicate everything. And we can go back to basics like paleo, we're like living off the land and eating fruits and vegetables in their closest to natural state. boom, that's what we need to do. Like literally go back to basics, shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Your body will thank you later. Now, as you start eating more produce and you're eating more fiber, you might get a little gassy at the beginning. That's normal. Just make sure that you drink a lot of water because you need water to help process that fiber, to help everything like digest and move through your system. So it's really important to up your water intake and, start small, just like maybe master one meal, try eating more plants at one meal. And as you have that, then go on to the next one and like keep adding more plants until eventually you do like push off a lot of the crap on your plate. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. To start with one meal. And she said, keep it simple, sweetheart, I always say, keep it simple, sexy. Like if you want to be
Oh, I like sexy. I like that better.
Yes, keep it simple, sexy. Like if you want to be sexy in your 40s, a lot of people like, you're tired from like say raising kids, having pets and having a husband and a career. Maybe you have everything, or maybe you're just a stay-at-home full-time mom and you've got all these kids you got to wrangle and schedules and your own schedule and your time. You want to feel alive. You want to feel energy. Sometimes these things drain us from being sexy, and a lot it has to do with food, right? What you're eating. What are you eating on the go? What are you eating in a hurry? You could still get healthy in a hurry, and you could still, like when you start eating these foods, like Jacque said, there's a transition period, but once you get past that, you're going to feel alive. You're going to be like, oh, so this is what it's like to have energy. This is what it's like to feel good. This is what it's like to, I don't know, like basically have the energy just to do your workout, to get through the day, not be so bloated. It accounts for a lot. So especially over 40, our bodies are so sensitive, right? I'm 47, Jackie's 52. Things change. It completely changed. How I ate 10 years ago is different at 37 is different than I am now at 47. And I'm sure it's going to change again because I feel like it's always changing. What works for you back then may not work for you now. Like, remember if you were that kid, like, oh, I can eat whatever I want and now I can't. Well, guess what? Those days are gone. You enjoyed it, had a great time. It's time to move on to a new mindset.
It is 100%. And it's fun. It's fun to like relearn and meet our new like higher self. It's beautiful. All right. So moving on, you want to talk about fitness now, Marcia?
Yeah, let's talk about fitness. You got to move your body. It doesn't matter what your fitness is. That's why Jacque and I embrace all types of fitness. We, in our Chics lifestyle program that we just launched it. We have all types of fitness. I've been a health coach for 18 years and a personal trainer, and I love it all. I don't discount any fitness that or exercise that gets you out to do it and you're motivated, do it. Don't sit there and just be like, oh, I'm only doing this, right? But you need 3 types of exercise in your life. Cardiovascular for your heart, okay, not for burning calories, it's actually for your heart, makes your heart strong. Your heart is the most important muscle of your body, not just your biceps or your butt. So make sure that you are doing cardiovascular, and that could be running, walking, you can do brisk walks, it could be swimming, cardiovascular could be a lot of things, okay? Number 2, you want to do strength training for your bones and your muscle. Over the age of 30, we start losing 10% bone density and muscle mass per decade if we don't use it. So you have to use it or you'll lose it. So that's my advice is do strength training. So strength training helps when you build strong bones, you're able to build strong muscles. And guess what? Muscle is metabolically active. And the older you get, the more, I would say, basically the more you need to do the strength training. It's so super important, right? And then the last one is flexibility. When you're doing strength training, you're contracting your muscles, or if you're not doing anything, sitting is one of the hardest stationary things you could do. Sitting is very hard on your body. I'm not kidding you. And you have to stretch. A lot of people don't do that. My husband will be at his desk 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, and then he complain when he's done. And I'm like, well, you sat there all day. You didn't work out. You didn't stretch. You can't just talk about it. You have to go actually physically stretch. You got to do it, right? And there's things like yoga and Pilates and bar that incorporate both strength and flexibility, okay? So you're utilizing all these different muscles. So make sure your workout program is well-rounded where it has strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular. It's important for Jacque and I to have all of that. And we meet that we have like obviously in 7 days, we try to incorporate a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but we make sure we get all 3 of those components in because that is what your body needs for a well-rounded thing. If you do too much strength training, you're going to be tight, and then you're going to be winded because you're not cardiovascular. One of my pet peeves as a personal trainer is when personal trainers are trying to sell their programs and they're ripped and shredded and they say, I don't do any cardio for this body. I'm like, okay. They're just trying to sell you on one thing. Make sure you get educated on all of it: strength, cardio, and flexibility. Those are the most important. And all of our programs have different components of that. Jackie's certified in yoga. We're both certified in strength training. She used to run aerobics classes. Like, she can do this to the beat, like to the time. Like, you guys know me, between dyslexia and I'm like, I cannot get to the beat. I have no coordination. I can't dance. But Jackie is amazing at that kind of stuff. But we have these amazing programs incorporated for you guys that has strength, flexibility, and cardio.
Yes, and it's so important. So once you start mastering whatever exercise that you want to do, because we also often get asked, like, what is the best exercise to do? And our answer is the one that you will do. So it's really important that you find something that resonates with you. And just like what you said, Marcy, like, our bones, women are so scared about lifting weights, getting in the gym, using weights, using heavy weights even to lift weights. I don't want to get big. Y'all, it's not going to happen. We don't have the amount of testosterone that men have. If Marcia has competed, she was a bikini fitness competitor. She had a pro card. I competed. I was never big and bulky. I was lean. I actually look back at my pictures. I'm like, oh, I wish I had that perky peach again. I wish I had those shoulders, the biceps, whatever. It's amazing. So it's important that as women over 30, we've got to start lifting weights. So really, really important that you do have you have the strength, cardiovascular, and flexibility component. And Marcia covered all that amazingly. And just keep in mind, sitting is the new smoking. So if you go out, you get up in the morning, you do your hour of workout or 30 minutes or whatever it is, and then you go and sit on the computer like Marcia and I all day, y'all, sitting is the new smoking. That can negate everything. So literally, if you don't have a smartwatch, there's so many different ones out there. You can get those. But now, smartphones, friends, these things, set the hour, make sure you set the timer for every, once an hour. When it goes off, then stand up, do 25 jumping jacks. If you don't like to bounce, you can do some low impact jacks. If I had room right here, I'd do it for you, but I'm crunched up against the wall, so it's not going to work. But literally, move your body once an hour, do 25 jumping jacks. That's what I do when my watch goes off. It's stand up, lazy woman. So I stand up, do 25 jumping jacks, and it's enough for my watch to say, good job, you get another stand hour. So just make sure, if you are really good at getting your workout in, that you don't just go and sit down the rest of the day. You've got to stay active throughout the day, but it doesn't mean you have to walk 5 miles every hour. Literally just doing jumping jacks, marching in place for a minute, walking for 3 minutes once an hour, and also get outside, do something like that. So make sure that you are moving your body. And a lot of people during this pandemic and post-pandemic, there's been a lot of mental health issues going on. People are depressed, they're not as happy, drinking's been escalating, just all kinds of things have happened, right? But one of the things that exercise can do, exercise can increase your endorphins. So it's actually going to improve your mood. It'll wake you up. So a lot of times people 3 p.m., you get hungry supposedly, or you get a little sleepy, you get snacky. Maybe instead of going to getting coffee or getting that frappuccino or going to get that cookie, walk outside, go get some sunlight, go for a 10 or 15 minute walk. Literally get your body moving. We don't always have to turn to food. We can turn to exercise, which is a really good coping mechanism. So just keep listening to your body. And we want to hear from you. Type in the comments. Do you like to work out? What are your favorite workouts? We want to hear from you. And this live is for you.
And what I want to add to that is be realistic with your goals too, because there's girls that will bring a picture of a supermodel or some fitness competitor, and they're like, I want to look like this. I'm like, that's not a look, that's a lifestyle. There's many factors. There's genetics, there could be Photoshop, lighting, your angle, pose, there's so many things to consider. But if you're on that trajectory, hey, I want to be a fitness competitor, and then that's something, you're like, okay, that's the goal. Or you want to say, I'm going to run a marathon, then you have to prepare for that, right? You can't just go run a marathon. Like there's preparation to it. You have to learn mile by mile. Just like as a fitness competitor, there's many components to that. You have to be realistic on your goals, right? Maybe you start with a 5K before you run a marathon if you've never run a marathon. So these are just things for you guys to really, really consider before thinking like, oh, I'm just going to run a marathon and you go do it. But you think of all the stuff that could go wrong and, you want to be prepared, right? And so that's why people hire coaches. And that's why people with a team, like you can run by yourself. It's a very solo sport, but it's better to join like a fun run with 5K, get to know some people, join a running group, and maybe hire a coach for your marathon, someone to cheer you on and educate you as you go through the process. And that's what people hire us to do. That's what a coach does. I do want to give a good example. So I had a fitness competitor and I trained her 3 years ago for 2 fitness competitions. She did amazing. I got to watch her. It took her 8 months to get her physique. And she got like 3rd place, her first competition, which I thought was amazing. 2nd place, the second competition. And she took a hiatus break. But what she didn't take a break from is eating healthy and working out, right? She was a normal life. She learned a bunch of new skills. And to this day, she thanks Jacque and I, the Plant Chicks, for helping her eat more vegetables and be consistent with exercise, like things that and be sexy. Like that competition, she thought, wow, that's out of her comfort zone to be sexy. So she learned food and fitness. She had us for friends and coaches and to be sexy. It took her, and she's in her 40s. Okay. She's 42 right now. So this just goes to show like she still took those tools that we taught her and she implemented her life. She comes back 3 years later and she's like, hey, I want to do another fitness competition. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. She gives me her pictures. I said, let's see where your starting point is, because a lot of times people get off for 3 or 4 years from competition and they got to kind of start from scratch. Maybe it could be 6 months to a year. And so I assessed her physique front, side, back. I looked and she gave me her weight, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay. And just looking at her pictures physically and her weight, where she was about 10 to 12 pounds away from where she needed to be for competition, which is completely realistic. And so 4 months, she had this amazing transformation, but remember, it's only 10 to 12 pounds. And online, it looks like she just had this humongous transformation of 4 months. But the secret was she's been building her body for, at that point, 4 years, 3 years off, but a year to do that before, 4 years. And when we peeled back the layers, which is inflammation of fat, she put on from eating fun foods and living normal life, which is normal. She wasn't a competitor. She basically just had a great front, sometimes back issues, we call it the plant chick peach. Women have issues, with their buns. And in 4 months, she pulled off and has beautiful buns and she's ready to compete. She couldn't see it because she's in the thick of competing, right? But as a coach, I can see it. I'm like, you're good. You're good for stage. You're golden. She's like, wait, what? And she's very hard on herself, which most competitors are. And I just will show you this. This is a 4 month difference. And I know it seems unrealistic, but at the end of the day, it took her 4 months to lose 10 pounds. That's not unrealistic. 10 pounds. 1 to 2 pounds. Realistic. Yeah, 1 to 2 pounds of a week is realistic of a weight loss goal. If we're talking weight loss, which most women want, it's realistic to lose 1 or 2 pounds a week in a healthy lifestyle. Now, if you're losing 10 pounds in a week, it could be because of water weight or something extreme. That's not realistic. Is you're going to keep it off as sustainable. But this is realistic. It was 10 to 12 pounds. By the time she gets to stage, it'll be 12 pounds lost, but 10 at this point. You guys can see this butt. It looks like 2 different people's butt, right?
Totally.
She has
beautiful.
Yeah, I know. She has the muscle built under it, but you can't see it because she holds all of her fat in her buns. And it just looked saggier. As soon as she started peeling back the layers of cleaning up her nutrition, she wasn't drinking like fun drinking on the weekends. She said, having margaritas and chips. For competition, you do have to be a little stricter on stage because your physique is graded, basically. It's a different goal than running, marathon running. So, and she understands that as long as you understand the goal. So the goal was, hey, I want my physique for stage. So she did that, and she's literally saying, okay, I'm eliminating this, we didn't just go cold turkey one day and like, okay, she's coming to me, now you got to get cold turkey. It's like, okay, let's start eliminating this first and we'll tweak you all the way there. And we did, we've tweaked her all the way to where she is. She competes in 2 weeks. I'm super excited for her, and her buns are looking better every single day than what you saw in that bottom picture. But listen, it can be done. My point is, I know it's long-winded, be realistic. A lot of people just need to hear that. And a lot of people aren't realistic. I know we're in today's day and age where it's like, you can get an app for that. You can't get an app for your body. Unfortunately, you have
No,
to.
it's those
Small things and it's slow.
consistently.
Yes, consistently. That is correct.
But if they're little tiny, like going back to the simple things, unprocessing your food, moving your body regularly, it's really, really powerful. And I'll share one of my own, like a personal story. I have breast implants and I had a breast ultrasound a couple of years ago, and they said that one of my implants was leaking, that I had silicone. So I had to go and get my implants replaced. Well, I didn't have to, but I did. But my surgeon, when I went back to the surgeon for him to assess me and all that stuff, he looked at my chart. He was like, "You were here 10 years ago?" He had to do a double take because literally he was like, wow, because he'll have patients come back in 10 years, but they've gained like 50 pounds, 20 to 50 pounds. And he was surprised that I had stayed like fit. And I'm not like competition fit. I'm just like a healthy, normal fit. I don't look like a fitness competitor. I look like how a 50-year-old woman can look when you choose healthier foods, when you start cutting the majority of the crap from your diet, when you start moving your body every day. Then let me tell you, it's not easy to do all of that on my own or all of that on your own. Just like you said, Marcia, like if you are going to run a marathon, like join a running club, be around other people, hire a running coach, or whatever it is, the same thing, like literally, you've got to find your tribe. So this is now we're going into the third F, finding our friends. Who are your friends? Ask yourself right now. I want you to type in here. Do you have healthy friends where you guys are going out for a workout? Type it in the comments. Are you healthy with your friends and you work out and then maybe you'll have a healthy meal, or you'll go out for a walk, or you'll go for a swim, or maybe you meet for play dates? Or are you like play? So you're like going out to the club, you're having like you go out and have a lot of chips and salsa and drinks and whatever, like you're eating all the crap. So are you play? We should think of a different word than play, but we'll use play for now. So type in the comments, play.
I call it body bashing, but people don't realize it's body bashing.
It is body bashing.
I used to be the weekend body basher. Like Monday through Thursday, I was super healthy. And by Thursday evening with those little happy hour stuff, all the way till Sunday, at least till Saturday night, I was body bashing. And then Sunday, I was my day of recovery before Monday, I did it again. So if you're a weekend body basher, but you're being healthy at least 4 days, think of that. 2, 4, 6, 8, there's 4 weekends in a month. That's 8 days. Maybe you're doing a Thursday. That could be 9, 10, 11, 12 days a month. That's a third of the month you're being unhealthy and you're body bashing. And sometimes our clients can't make headway. Now they're like, why, every single week I'm entertaining. Listen, you could do the same things. You can get alcohol-free stuff. I do it all the time. Jackie's sober, so she commits to it, the lifestyle, like no drinking. Me, I'll have it every once in a while, but I don't body bash like I used to. I was like living for the weekends, living for that drink, that Mexican food where I can eat like 10,000 calories. I'm like, oh, it wasn't that, I didn't eat that bad. I would always lie to myself, right? 2 margaritas later, you're already 2,000 calories in, and chips and salsa and whatever I'm eating that
night.
Hold
on 1 second, like pause right there, because literally people don't realize how many calories are in like a cocktail. Literally a margarita can have 1,000 freaking calories. And a lot of people, like women, we need like 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day-ish, whatever, around there, whatever, maybe a little bit more. But literally 2 margaritas, you're at like your calorie limit. No wonder you're gaining weight. It's not that banana that you had. It's the chips and the margarita that you're eating. And even if you're doing it once a week, 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. So you're already 2,000 calories up with 2 margaritas. Like you're almost, you're like a half a pound overweight right there, gaining weight.
Yeah, people like, I was that person that would blame that banana in my smoothie. I shouldn't have had the banana in my smoothie. But I didn't even want to look at what I ate. I was discounting all my cheat meals is what I call them. And then I named it a treat meal. Like I was, in there, you justify to eat that kind of food. And I would blame anything healthy. Oh, it must've been the extra rice in my carbs, like a quinoa that I had, or the banana, or the berries, the fruits making me fat. But yet I wasn't seeing I was drinking wine and, I was a little crazy. And I had to come to terms with myself, right? Now I'm really about promoting like non-alcoholic rosé. Sometimes I want the taste of wine, but I want to be hungover, right? And it literally is like 20 calories for a glass. And, I'll have a little non-alcoholic rosé or my hop water or sparkling water. And anywhere I go, I'll put like sparkling water and, with some lime and stuff and drink that, right? So you got to think who your friends are. Like she said, if you're body bashing, I would find the friends like a body basher that was like fun and like, I won't say evil, but it's like your bad friends, you want to go get crazy. And then I had my healthy friends that I would be with working out at the gym and doing that stuff. But you have to think who your friends are, right? It like occurred to me one day, like, okay, time is short on this earth. I need to make the most of it. I have a super healthy business partner. That's why I'm thankfully Jackie's not an alcoholic. Just think if I had an alcoholic business partner, like it could be a whole different thing, right? And Jackie and I, obviously, she doesn't drink, and she doesn't care if I do, but because she doesn't drink, I don't drink. It's just easy for me to just honor it and do that. And I feel better and healthy in this for myself. I don't do it for Jackie. I do it for myself. But I think it's easier when you do hang out with people that are healthier or don't drink or, just have different patterns. Like, hey, let's go for a workout. And then you go for a workout and you meet versus doing the drinking and the body bashing. So sometimes to get over the hump of that, you need to find those friends that you can rely on, or a group like Jackie and I feel like we help those women, especially over 40. You cannot do what you did in your 20s or even in your 30s. When you're in your 40s and 50s, it's a completely different road. I mean, one body bashing weekend can set me back for weeks, like weeks. And I mean, at this point, I'm a super face scanner. Like I didn't realize this till I got older. I used to just have like a cute little chunky Chics face when I was a kid and real skinny. As I got older, it really just goes, and then my jowls will happen because the inflammation in the water. And when I work out or if I run, I could literally feel my jowls running.
Yes.
It's so crazy. I never felt that when I was a kid and I did boot camp and have fun, but it's how the inflammation sets, right? Like I have less collagen, our bodies are different, our metabolism, I want to say is a little slower, but you do have to tweak things because our metabolism basically, there's a study saying it's basically the same until we're 60.
Yeah.
Until we're 60.
Hashtag
right?
no excuses.
Hashtag no excuses. I was like, ooh, that is like, you just have to look at your nutrition and be real with yourself and be realistic and clean it up and clean up your friends. Like if you want to get into that lifestyle, right? Like, if you're hanging with friends with lots of drama and stuff, that probably isn't probably good for your mental health, right? And they're body bashing and drinking. You just have to think of your friends. I think as we get older, Jackie and I realize our friends are super important in our life, not just our husbands, but our friends as well. And it's picking those right friends that we can do things with, right? When Jackie and I first started business, we were like hitting the ground running, having this great year, having so much fun. But the second year, it got really hard. Business is hard. It gets real. We always say shit gets real. It hit the fan, right? And we're like, okay, but we were getting in that work mode where Jackie and I stopped having fun. And we were like, gotta work, gotta work, gotta work. And we stopped doing the fun things. And we thought, no, this is our company. This is our business, just like it's our life. Let's do things like walk, go for a workout. Let's make healthy meals. Let's do this. And so we restructured how we did our business so we can pour into our business. So Jackie and I will wake up in the morning, we'll have some water, some coffee, whatever, go walking, come back, take showers, start a work day, eat a healthy lunch, we fuel our bodies. So our work environment is a healthy work environment. And I was inspired by Sun Warrior. They have a super healthy work environment. And a lot of companies don't have that, right? So and Jackie and I were like, she's been through different companies too. Either they weren't or they were. And she's like, yeah, we need to create that culture. And that's what we're doing at the Plant Chics Tribe. It's creating that culture of friends and women, especially over 40, that we can help each other when we're going through a hard time. Because at 40, we're expected to do it all, or 50 or 60, like moms and pet owners and boss babes and all the above. The next thing you know, we're like, where do we make time for ourselves? Where do we make time for fitness? Where do we make time for fun? Where do we make time for friends? Where do we make time to eat healthy, right?
Yes. And here's another really important thing. So if you have a lot of body bashing friends and you're struggling to find some healthy friends, really do come join our Plant Chics Tribe. And we have women in our Plant Chics Tribe who met online, met in our Plant Chics Tribe, and they're like Plant Chics partners. They work out together. One is in Washington State, another's in Chicago. Literally, we have women all over the world Germany, Canada, like everywhere, all over the US, Australia, India. All right, I'll stop. But find your Plant Chicks partner, work out, like check in with that girl, like check in. These are your people. They're 40s, just like you, 50s, just like you. And this is where the power lies. Find your people, find your tribe, join our tribe. And Wendy and Robin, the Washington and Chicago ladies, they're actually meeting in real life for the first time. I think it's coming up in a week or two. And it's so cool. They met in the tribe. It's so freaking phenomenal. And they have really blown up. They're super excited for Fit to Feast that we're launching in our Plant Chicks lifestyle. And it all starts on November 3rd. Listen, we just launched our Plant Chicks lifestyle. It's so exciting. It is more than a workout program. Our Plant Chicks lifestyle is a holistic health program. So if you want to look and feel better, if you want to gain energy, if you want to feel more confident, if you want to eat healthier, if you want more energy, this is what you need to do. You need to join our Plant Chicks lifestyle. And we have our early access rate. It ends on Tuesday. So join today. It's in like the description of this. Our Plant Chicks lifestyle, you guys, you can join for as little, under $10, $9.95. That is nothing. Your health is an investment. It's not an expense. It is time to make yourself a priority. Put yourself first. Just like when you're flying on the airplane, it says, if the oxygen mask drop down, put it on yourself first and then help your loved ones around you. This is the time. This is your time. You spent your entire life taking care of everyone else. Now it's time to focus on you. Join our Plant Chicks lifestyle. You will not be disappointed. We're starting Fit to Feast on Wednesday, November 3rd. We are going to be working out with you. We're going to be cooking with you. We're going to be coaching you. We're going to be doing this right alongside you. And we are so excited to have you in our Plant Chicks lifestyle. So if you've got any questions, let us know. But literally, everything's in there, and it all starts November 3rd. But you've got to join now before we start on November 3rd if you want to save some money.
Yes. And last time we did the Fit to Feast challenge, we charged $21, and now it is $9.95, and you get a plethora of other stuff with it. So that's for sure. You get the entire lifestyle. You get all the workouts, all the nutrition, all the workbooks, and then we're adding stuff to it, I would say weekly, right? So you get all this new content. And we're also going to do challenges each month, not all the time, but fun little challenges to keep you motivated along the way. And we have some stuff planned for you because we do better in groups. We do better as in numbers with people versus by yourself, right? Because running a marathon thing could be, your own little spiritual awakening by yourself. That's fine. But think if you ran that marathon, you had a coach, a friend, people that you can talk to about it, joining groups like, hey, what's this question? Like, are these the right shoes I'm going to wear? Or this the right, sports bra top? It's finding those little things that connecting with people so you're successful in your journey. And you guess what? We're going long term. This isn't just for 21 days. This is for life, you guys. That's why we called it the Plant Chicks lifestyle. You don't have to be plant-based. You don't have to be vegan. You just have to want to improve your life. That's where we're at.
That is exactly where we're at. So literally, if you've got any questions, shoot us an email, reach out to us on DM, type it in the comments. We are here for you, and we cannot wait to see you in the Plant Chicks lifestyle. Can't wait to see you inside. And we're going to be starting Fit to Feast on Wednesday, November 3rd. Are you going to be there with us?
That's right. Tag a friend that you want to do this with. Tag them in the comments and say, let's do this. So we can do this together. We're going to get a big group of women, and let's do this. All right.
Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. Have a great day, and we will see you in the tribe.
That's right.